Should we chase a Ken Griffey Jr. Upper Deck 1989 rookie card? Should we specifically buy a box of 1989 Upper Deck baseball? If you want to buy it now, not go into an auction, you're gonna pay about $450, right, for a box of 1989 Upper Deck. You got 540 cards.
I mean, my take on something like this is, if you've got $500 and you're going to put 90% of it in to go after one card, you got to figure in that particular set you've got somewhere in the range of 650 cards to 750 cards that are going to be available in the entire set. So my whole thing is you got two scenarios that you can go for. You might get one Griffey, you might get none, you might get three, right? You just don't know what you're going to get in this scenario. So there's a little bit of gambling there. So the scenario that I posed to you yesterday is, what does the individual want? Does the individual want to go for everything and go and try to find a Ken Griffey Jr. card that you can flip fairly easily for like $1,700, right? And the PSA 9.5, PSA 10. Or are you one kind of more like me, where you're like, I want to be able to find a scenario where I've got 7 really good cards in that set. I've got 7 really good opportunities in that set. And likely every third or fourth pack that I open, I'm going to get at least one of those, right? And I build my way up to be able to ultimately sell a bunch of those for a significant profit. So that's the question that I pose to you is, what do you do? We're going to get together for the first time in like 3 or 4 years here in just a few months. What do we want to do? Do we want to buy something together and go all in on looking for one card, maybe 2 with like a Gary Sheffield, something like that, or late years Nolan Ryan?
There's no real way to tell how many Griffies you're going to get in this Upper Deck box. We all know that. Based on my research, there are high odds that we would get 0 Griffies. So if you're out there looking to do something like this, there's high odds you're going to get 0 Griffies. I think the best case scenario is that we get 2 Griffies. And so I think for our analysis, we should keep that in mind, right? But we should say, let's call a likely scenario that out of 540 cards, let's just say we get 1 Griffey. We're going to do the analysis based on 1 Griffey, because I see it being almost like winning the lottery to get more than 1 Griffey. I just don't.
So we're setting the over under at 0.5.
Yeah, over under at 0.5. Let's take the over, right? Let's say we get a Griffey. So now we're going to break down the grading, right? So the PSA 10 likely resale value, let's just call it $2,500. The PSA 9 likely resale value is $250. So you can see there's a huge discrepancy between the PSA 10 and the PSA 9, and that's pretty common for all cards. Then you've got the PSA 8 likely resale value, a little bit less of a difference between the 9 and the 8, that's $100. So I think from a grading perspective, my experience on grading is that we would be likely to get an 8. Okay, I think hitting a 10, hitting our 1 Griffey 10 would be like another lottery ticket within a lottery ticket. So okay. I think we get an 8, which means we'd spend $450 on the box, $150 on the grading, $600 all in. We'd sell our PSA 8 for $100. The most likely scenario is that us and others out there, we and you out there listening and watching, would be at a loss of $500 if we go through PSA. Now let's go SGC, okay? SGC is $30 per card. Likely resale value of an SGC 10, $1,200. A 9.5 likely resale value, $225. A 9, $135, and an 8.5, $100. 30-day turnaround time, $30 per card. I think we'd be likely to get an we'd be likely to get an SGC 8.5 on our Griffey, which means we'd be.
Sounds like we're losing money, Paul.
480 all in. We're losing money. 480 all in. We sell the SGC 8.5 for $100, and we would be at a loss, less of a loss, $380 loss if we go through SGC. Now. Okay. If you're questioning me, any of you listening, I know Murph, you probably not questioning me, but you'd probably be interested in this. If you go to nooffseason.com/Griffey, it will take you to my Griffey PSA 8.5. Look at that card and tell me if you can even find a flaw in it, because I can't. So I don't know what the difference is. I don't know how you're going to get a 10 on this. My point is, so to what you said earlier, now you've got the Randy Johnson rookie and you've got the Gary Sheffield rookie in the same set. So you're looking for Griffey, the unit, and Chef. And I like the unit and Chef. And those are fun cards to pull. You've got some holograms, some other things like that Upper Deck did that are cool.
Always like a hologram.
And if you want to sell your unit or your Chef in a PSA 9 or 10, you might make back an additional $200 total. So you'd still be underwater by a couple $100 on this box, I think, unless you hit this lottery ticket. So like we talked about, like we're going to be getting together for the first time in a few years at this annual football trip that you organize. And the context is important here, right? Because if everyone out there wants to have fun, this could be close to a break even if you count the entertainment value, right? And you count the nostalgia. So that's great. But if you're looking to do this for a profit, you're not going to make a profit in this scenario. Now, but what I did find potentially, though, for those of you maybe looking to make a profit on this play, is buying the complete set. So if you look carefully at eBay, you can buy sealed complete sets of this, which means that you're guaranteed the Griffey. Now, I did find one on eBay for $280. So you guarantee yourself a Griffey, submit that to PSA or SGC, and you'd be more likely to break even, you'd monetarily break even or even profit a little bit. Now, there's no entertainment value to that.
There's none. There's no fun. I mean, now granted, you're highly likely to break even, potentially hit a home run, right? I mean, potentially that Griffey's perfect. And, that Johnson's good and the Sheffield's good and any number of late stage career is good. It's like a company, right? The parts are always worth more than the whole thing. And this is no different in terms of the set that you're talking about. You buy the set for $400, you break it up, probably with no fun. Maybe you make 500, maybe you make $100, $200, but that depletes the fun value significantly. It takes fun down from a 10 down to like a 2.